We lost. True indeed. We lost. Lord knows we lost. I'm about to say something to make you not like me. You might catch feelings and you might want to fight me, but I don't really care, I'ma say it anyway. Why most comedic guys seem soft and gay. I'm not saying all, but a large amount. Have you ever heard the words that come out of their mouth? Yeah, they cuss like a sailor, but they follow my eye. They carry oaks and wear makeup and thinking it's hot. I think they need to stop, this is a new era. I wonder if the pharaohs of a war mascara. It probably was a death mask misunderstood. Don't let them D-boys catch them up in the hood. Why NOI? Stop patrolling the block. We get shot by the cops and we calling the cops. Come on, y'all was on another level. The black man was God, the white man the devil. Now the white man, or better yet the European, and the MOORS and the bean pies are sold by Koreans. I'm talking what I'm seeing, I'm just a reporter. How you call a woman to be and you got a daughter. Talking about the Hebrews that demonize women and choose Esau over brothers and Kemet. Probably timid, soft, and scared to fight. Yelling and wearing spikes, trying to fake me out right. But you can't fool me, cause you make a little noise. Cause deep inside, y'all some scared little boys. You really wanna ride, let's take it to the beast. Get revenge for people killed by like these. Yeah, right. Y'all ain't busting the grape. It appears that you fear you in love with hate. Correct me if I'm wrong, we might all don't get along. European psychology got us all gone. You think we divided? Cause I wear fez and she wear oak and he wear dreads. But the vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to wake you up and get you out of the bed. We lost. To get you out the bed. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Oh yeah, I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Y'all think we divided cause I got a fez and you wear and she wear dreads. Y'all think we divided cause I wear fez. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. And she wear and he got dreads. Moors need to wake up too, so I'ma wake up you. So we can get together, do what we gotta do. We ain't done much since the prophet left. More standing on law, we still in this mess. Haven't built the town to hold us down. Paperwork can't fear, we looking like clowns. Never been to the temple, claim we follow the prophet, but I follow the prophet. I understand logic. People in the temple, time to hit the streets. Everybody do their part, or we ain't getting relief. The murder rate can be more, it's just gone crazy. Dope fiends ODing in the hood on the daily. Weed waste with chemicals, you drink and serve. We fighting over information, we got some nerve. They say that we conscious, we might know a little something, but we just frontin' cause we haven't done nothing, we lost. You think we divided cause I got a fez and she got a cross and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez and he got an and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez?
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man.
That's right.
Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. You let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we could be Scott scholarly, or we can get gutter. We are the children of our father, and the breast of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the bean trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother, tell the elder the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low, and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war, standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe, that might be too deep, yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept, do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master, I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam, everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, or you can dress like a herb. By the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that, you won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true Ali. People refuse to admit it, he the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen, and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love, no, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you, and let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929, when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks, move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning, but it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you, misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love, now let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. Ali's men, we ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, so let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah.
Oh! Here we go! Can you hear me? I be that more you gon' be. Can you hear me? I'ma be that more you gon' be. Can you hear me? I be that more you gon' remember. Press 1 if you can hear me. Parker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Hey! I be that more you gon' remember. To Parker Bay front line till the law call. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies. Hold my line. Friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Island. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains in Mississippi, and Kemet? He told you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. The first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Kemet. Told you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. And now here you go again, acting like you're a slave. The same people taught Europeans how to bathe
and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Nah, because they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed, and syrup. Here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, because they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed, and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Gucci, Boosie, Kodak, Amigo, Ross, Boosie. But where the love for the woman look like your mother? I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now sight. Lil Yachty, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Boosie. But where the love for the woman look like your mother? I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cipher. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. Yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law. All you super scholars holler. This arrow for the workers. You ain't building on the ground. You worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. You probably working for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose. I ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock affairs, he ain't my bro. All you super scholars holler, this arrow for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface, probably working for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock affairs, he ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow, I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now, don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast mistakes, I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moor's world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moor's world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That time. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. Islam, welcome to another edition of Moors TV. I'm your host. Y'all remember TLC used to do that joke? Don't go change. What was that joke TLC that used to do? Y'all remember that? Oh my goodness, family. Remember TLC? I was trying to do the TLC joint. Like, they be doing like that. And then, y'all remember the snake? I was trying to do the snake. I was actually doing the salamander. I ain't know, listen, you might, you might ain't really, you probably didn't know, right? But, yeah. You probably ain't noticed, right? Because you know what I mean? I can put on a good show like these fake frauds that act like they for our people. I can put on a good show. I look like I can dance. I know, I do. I know I look like I can dance, but I really can't dance. Man, they ain't got no rhythm. Listen, let me tell you something. One of the reasons I'm not totally, let me tell you something, right? I know that the European has tainted my gene pool. Two things I can't do that stereotypically we supposed to know how to do. Number one, I ain't playing no basketball. Yeah. I know. The European got one drop in my gene pool, or maybe a couple, I don't know. But that one drop has affected me tremendously. I ain't got a bit of rhythm. I can rap a little bit, and I ain't playing no basketball. Nah, man, I'm brick all day. I'm telling you, I'm missing the backboard. I can look like it, I can though. Man, I ain't playing no, somebody say not even 2K. I ain't playing no basketball. Like, I'm like garbage. I'm like basura. I'm the worst. I'm telling you, I ain't dribbling too much. But one thing I can do, I can fake you out though. I can look like I can fake you out like I know something. You know what I mean? I can look the part. You know what I'm saying? You know, like these fake revolutionaries, I can look the part. Black power. One got the left hand up, one got the right hand up. Some of them, black power. They be like, yeah. They be like, yeah, black power. I can fake you out though. I can look like I can ball. Put me on that court, I'm all bricks. I'm telling you, I ain't hitting no rims or nothing. Backboard from the foul line, I'm looking foul as ever. I don't even care though. Listen, when I was growing up, I got homeboys. I'm gonna bring my homeboys up here on the show one day. I'm gonna bring some of my homeboys. I'm talking about some of my tight homeboys on the show. They can tell you, I was always the last one to be picked. I was only picked so I could foul people. For real. And then I wouldn't play that long because once you foul me back, you already know. You already know. Once you foul me back, I'm like, nah, you did that on purpose. They're like, of course I did it on purpose because you did it on purpose to me. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. And that's not talk about dancing. Nah, I'm gonna leave that up to TLC, but I know I look like I can dance. Family. So somebody mentioned Black Rob, man. Ain't that sad, man? Y'all read about Black Rob, hear about Black Rob. You know, he came on there next week. And the thing about it, I seen it on somebody YouTube, and they said, man, Black Rob, and they was really, I ain't gonna say the guy's name, but it looked like a car wreck, right? But he said basically that he looked like the brother was about to get out of here. And I mean, R.I.P. to Black Rob, but that's what he said. You know, he said it looked like he don't have long, basically. And you know, a week later, or maybe it was 2 weeks later, I'm not sure. You know what I mean, brother Black Rob is gone. I'm really up in the air about DMX because I just watched the DMX interview on Drink Champs, and he seemed pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he seemed pretty solid. Anybody see Drink Champs interview? If you haven't, go there, check it out with my big bro Nori. Y'all need to check that out. Anybody seen that? Press one if y'all seen that Drink Champs interview 2 months ago with DMX. Y'all got to see that. That was a solid interview, man. I'm talking about it was heavy, it was serious, but he looked pretty strong. He looked like he was cleaned up. So it's kind of baffling. But now they're trying to say that, you know, it wasn't even a drug overdose. They saying it just was a heart attack. I don't know if y'all heard that yet. They said that was a rumor. That he had a heart attack. But the strange part about it, in order for them to have a heart attack, it just seems strange. It seems very strange. And watching that show, you know what I mean? And watching that show, it just warns me and informs me on how alert we should be about life, how precious life is, and how we should really fight for liberation. Like, let me talk to y'all for a minute before we get into this. Family, do y'all realize? I want y'all to be interactive with me as we get started. Do y'all recognize
Hold up. We got 338 people in this chat right now. I want to ask y'all a question. How many people feel as though that we've been bamboozled and tricked to believe that these organizations that represent us are really not about liberation of us? Press 1 if you think that these organizations that say that they're about liberation for us really not about that. Do you agree? Do you agree or disagree? If you disagree, I want you to name the organization that's really about liberation. And then I got a question for you. If you agree with me, I believe that they bluff, and I don't believe they really about liberation. I believe that they're about entertaining. And a brother told me something today, and I forget the phrase that he quoted, but I had to come up with my own phrase. They're entertaining the thought of liberation to get your money and to get your support. Let me explain something to you. In order to get the money, they need your support. You see what I'm saying? Once they get your support, that's called advertising dollars. So when you look at somebody like Tamika Mallory or something, and Until Freedom, once they were known to have influence, then the advertisers would come in. Y'all understand? Let me break something down for you. Do y'all understand that TV? Do anybody know that? If anybody don't understand TV, I want you to look this up. TV was born out of radio, right? And the reason that radio came into existence was, let me see if anybody know. Who knows why did radio come into existence? It was talk radio, then they started with music. Anybody know why radio came into existence? I'm gonna start having t-shirt giveaways. See if anybody can answer this. Anybody know why radio was first entered into the open community? Because they always had radios, you know what I mean, through the walkie-talkie. That's right, TV was born out of radio. Absolutely. Anybody know why radio was given to society? DeMarcus said programming. True. Let me break this down for you. Brainwashing. True. And I should do a show on this one day, but I don't know how much it would interest people. Radio was all about advertising. As they say, control the masses. Radio was all about advertising. For example, they needed a way to sell this lotion. They needed a way. MK Ultra and Mind Control came second, but it always was a part of Mind Control because it was all about selling a product. So in order to sell a product, they had to find a way to get people drawn in order to product placement. That's what radio was all about. That's why it was given to the public. You understand what I'm saying? That was the initial reason. It was about money. It was about product placement. How to sell a product to a mass audience, to a large audience. The other stuff began to follow. Once they found out that Palm Olive and Wells Fargo and all of that could market through the radio because people could be controlled, then once they look at the demographics and they look at the sales chart and find out, wow, we played this on the radio. Now this lotion is doing better than that lotion. So they knew that, okay, people are going to fall into line with what we put in their ear. And then, TV was born out of that. So I want to stop right there real quick. Now, this is all about mind control. It's just the selling of a product is different. You know what I mean? Like go say merchandise. Absolutely. The selling of the product is different. So what you are in today is you are into social media. It's still media. You follow me? It's still media. Radio is media. TV is media. Social media. Everybody is trying to sell you something. This is why Ali Muhammad can recruit on social media, because he's trying to sell people the concept of liberation. And all of these other groups, Crystal Muhammad, they do talk radio and all these things because they want to sell you the concept of liberation. All of these groups. And not excluding, I'm telling you, groups of the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Hebrews, all of them. They want to sell you the concept of liberation. But you're never going to be liberated. It's dealing with this nonsense. I know they're going to get mad at me. Y'all got my back because they're going to get mad at me after this one. Listen to me. They sell the concept of liberation through your camera lens, through lectures, through speeches. It's just the concept of liberation. It's never intentful in liberating you. This is what I come to find. And I'm going to show you in a minute. This is what I've come to find, family. The intentions is not to liberate you. It's to dangle the carrot in front of you and keep you chasing it from one episode to the next, one episode to the next. Whether it was Black News 102, whether it's NOI, whether it's the Moorish Science Temple of America, not our group, because we're moving on some things. And this is why I'm having this conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? And they just have you just chasing the carrot. The Hebrew Israelites, all of them. And I have nothing against, let me say this, I have nothing against any of these groups. I'm only speaking truth right now. Y'all with me? I have nothing against the Nation of Islam. I have no horse in the race with the Nation of Islam. I have nothing against the Hebrew Israelites. But I'm telling you that there is no liberating quality as it relates to a group of people with any of these groups. Not the church, none of them. None of them. There is none. And I'm talking about as a group of people. I'm not talking about as an individual. See, the Moorish Science Temple of America may liberate the individual, but as a collective, we still suffer. As a collective, an individual may be liberated personally by the teachings of the Nation of Islam. But as a group of people, over 83 million here in the United States, it never works. Because no one have a plan for complete liberation of the totality of those who have been affected by this experiment called the slave trade. None. None. This is the fact of the matter. Are we ready to deal with the facts of the matter? I know it's some brothers in the Nation of Islam. I know it's some brothers in the Moorish Science Temple of America listening. I know it's some brothers in the church listening. But this is the fact that we're going to have to face either today or one day. That there is no one in this day and time that has a true plan for total liberation. And somebody asks, what is liberation? First of all, we don't even know what it looked like. We don't know what a liberation looked like. We have yet to find a plan to bring us together, to work together in order to have a glimpse of what it looked like. So we don't even trust coming together because we don't know what it looked like. And nor have we had someone to paint a picture so we can be clear as to what it looked like. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm about to paint a picture. But I got to ask a few questions. I mean, one thing for sure, let me answer a few things in here. Hussein said, once we disconnect from the system and can travel freely without authorization from the devil, then we be free. No, that's not it, brother. Let me tell you something. Once we understand that this system that they're traveling in is the same system that you can turn inside out. We all know it takes unity. And I'm just not talking about ambiguous unity. It takes, somebody got it, collective vision. It takes one to back up and say, okay, this is how we approach this. Because let me tell you something. This system, whether you like it or not, ain't going nowhere. Whether we hate it, like it, or it's not going nowhere. But there is a way that you can turn the system inside out. That takes a little bit of work and a little bit of effort. Most wars, I'm going to tell you, 98% of wars are won before a gun is even used. Anybody know that? The United States, bar none, every war that they won was won before a shot was bust. You know what that mean? You know what that mean? That mean planning is critical. Planning is critical. When have you sit down and seen, there we go, Mark Anthony. When have you been a part of a circle with a real strategy? What is NOI strategy? What is the church strategy? Do they even have a strategy? What is my son, Tamika Mallory, strategy? Listen to me, family. After this show, you're going to realize that no one has a strategy. They're doing the same thing that the Europeans have done with medicine. They do not heal anything. They do not cure anything. They only maintenance it to get you over to the next pill. Y'all understand that? In European medicine, they never heal, they never cure. They take a pill until you need the next pill. And our people in this day and time have duplicated that. They give you some feel-good speeches until you need it again. Somebody get killed, they step out, give a feel-good speech. Step back, get some endorsements, get some money. And then here they go again. The next murder, and then 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 the next murder. Let me tell you something. Money ain't going to change nothing. ADOS and reparations ain't going to change nothing. It's going to take what we call money, but I will call resources, and it's going to take other strategic avenues to get up out this situation. It's going to take other strategic avenues. It's not just going to take money. Man, they can give you all the money. They can print up all the money and give every so-called black person money tomorrow morning. That ain't going to change nothing. That's not going to change nothing. What we need is a concentrated effort, a game plan, how to get out of this situation. I'm telling you, I think we have the game plan, but do we have those ready to execute it? That's one of the issues we're working with. So as we get busy, let me get busy real quick. You know what I mean? Let's get busy real quick. And let me shout out to Hussein. Let me speak to Hussein. He said, first, we free the mental indoctrination. Hussein, everybody is not going to be free mentally. But those who are need to come together now. So Hussein, if you think that you are free mentally, it's up to you to join the systematic effort to come up out of this situation. And you bring along who you can by you being the example that you expect them to be. Everybody ain't going to wake up. We got to get over that. Everybody ain't going to listen. Let me tell you something. I got over the concept a long time ago that we all going to move in one direction at one time. I've been got over that. But I'm telling you, all we need is enough to move in one direction. And just like we have the tribal psychosis where we join gangs and we join churches and we join temples and we join mosques, when we start moving, a collective in strength start moving in one direction, some people are just going to come along anyway. Some people just going to come along anyway. But those who are awoke are the ones that got to come along first and stop worrying about waking up those who are still asleep. They going to come. So now, my next few shows is going to be talking about how we get out of this. And I agree with Hussein. Our next few shows talk about how to get out of this. But let me get with this real quick. Family, I want to ask you a question. If you are a Christian, don't be mad. I know on the internet they like to beat you up sometimes, but I ain't gonna beat you up. If you are a Christian, I want to ask you real quick. Family, help me out. If you are a Christian, I want to ask you, what is the Christian game plan to get us out of this situation? If you are a Christian, what is the Christian game plan? And what is getting out of this situation? If you are a Christian, anybody know? Do anybody know the Christian game plan? What is the Christian strategy? Do anybody know a Christian strategy? Jesus. Zen Suna said Jesus. We not but the chosen one. Call Jim. What is the Christian strategy? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is no knock at no Christian. Y'all see? And I wish we had some true Christians in here. And when I say what is the Christian strategy, let me be clear. Let me be clear. When I say what is the Christian strategy, what I'm saying is that if you are a Christian and you say Jesus is Lord and your Savior, and that we have been brutalized, oppressed for many, many moons, will there come a time when we will self-govern ourselves like the Turks of Turkey, like the Italians of Italy, like the Chinese of China, like the Mexicans of Mexico, like the French of France? Will there ever come a time when we govern ourselves without interruption? And is there a pathway leading to that? We should be thinking about that. We never think about these things. We never think about these things. Just because one has made it into office and being a puppet for a European or a white supremacist ideology, and they look like you, they just set you back a few years. They just set you back a few years. Just see, if you are in a system and that system has endorsed you, 9 times out of 10, you are working for the ends of the system. But if you are in the system and the system ain't endorse you and the people put you there that look like you with a strategic plan to utilize the system to turn it inside out for your benefit, now you're working with something. Now you're working with something. So I just want to do some critical thinking tonight. Check this out. So nobody can tell me what the Christian plan is. Nobody. All right. Do you know that there are over, let me make sure that you can see this. there are over 69,000 so-called, quote unquote, black churches in the United States. Did you know that? Oh, and this is not to mention the pop-up churches. Did y'all know that? 69,000. Do y'all know what that number look like? Do anybody know what that number look like? 69,000? And out of 69,000, not one have produced a plan? Now, family, is that acceptable? Do you think that's acceptable? Out of 69,000, there is not one who put a plan on the table to bring us up out of this condition. And I'm talking about a real plan. I'm not talking about no fugazi plan. Now, out of 67,000, family, we having a real talk tonight. If you don't want a real talk tonight, you with the wrong people tonight. We having a real talk. It's 69,000. Do you know what that look like? Y'all know what 69,000 people look like? That's a lot of people. But we're not even talking about people. We're talking about church organizations. So those numbers could possibly go up into the 250,000 to 500,000. 69,000 church organizations. This is not talking about the little pop-up ones that pop up every day. These are talking about the ones that are recorded. Y'all see why it's time for us to get activated? Press 1 if you see why it's time for us to get activated. Press 1 if you understand that it's time for us to be activated. I'm talking about the faithful. I'm talking about the true. I'm talking about those that are ready to move forward on something practical, real. Out of 69,000, not one has put a plan on the table since who? Not one plan since the inception. How can one say they go to church and believe in Jesus, but there is not one revelation where Jesus put a plan on the table to get us up out of this situation according to your doctrine? That should be unacceptable. That God might be a little bit weak on that sauce or something. I'm not beating you up, my Christian brothers and sisters. It's just something to think about. Something to think about. Now, check this out. This comes from, and you can research, according to the late Professor C. Eric Lincoln, who co-authored The Black Church and African American and the African American Experience with Lauren H. Memaya. The following are the major historic black denomination churches: the African Methodist Church Episcopal, the African Methodist Episcopal Zion, the Church Methodist Episcopal, the National Baptist Convention, the National Baptist Convention, and on and on and on. And you can search this stuff up yourself. I'm going to leave it on there for a second so you can see. You can go and research the researcher. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making this stuff up. Because you need to understand that, do these people have our best interests at heart? Or are they just in business? The following figures are taken from the Statistical Abstract of the United States. These are the numbers. So what I'm telling you, this comes from the census. So you know what the census is, right? All around the United States, they went to these churches. All around the United States, they went to these churches and got some numbers. And here are the numbers. So the point that I'm making to you, out of 69,000 churches, not people, know the difference between people and churches. Out of 69,000, almost 70,000 churches, there is not one who comes up with a plan for a collective liberation strategy. That's acceptable? That's acceptable? Come on, we know that ain't acceptable. We got to get busy. We got to get busy. All right. Now, somebody said get to the good part. This is the good part. Roughly 8 in 10, quote unquote, African Americans self-identify as Christians. 8 in 10. Those numbers are staggering because no one has a liberation plan in the Christian community. I think we can chalk that up. No one has a liberation plan in the Christian community. We can chalk that up. Are we going to get the NFAC in a minute too? Somebody say NFAC is doing it. NFAC ain't doing nothing. In fact, let me stop for a minute before I get to NFAC. If NFAC is doing that, what is the NFAC plan? What is the NFAC plan? And cryptonomics say the strategy already been laid out. Well, who's implementing it? Talking about a strategy is not a strategy. Neely Fuller talking about a strategy is not a strategy. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Malcolm X talking about a strategy. I love Malcolm like anybody else, but that's not a strategy. The strategy is the one who has the talk of the strategy should lead the strategy, and it should be carried over into the next generation. These are ideas. These are simply ideas. Those are not strategies. They are ideas. Let's be clear. There's a difference between a strategy and an idea. A strategy is something that's workable and moving on. These are just ideas. Neely Fuller, honor to him. Amos Wilson, honor to him. Malcolm X, honor to him. But talking about a strategy and no execution is not a strategy. I'm sorry. It's just not. And if Neely Fuller strategy, if Neely, no, my fault, Crip, I ain't trying to get you, Crip. Let me go back to Crip. He said, Moores, the problem is none of the so-called Black Panther group follow the elders close. No, I got what you're saying. I seen that. So the issue is this. The issue is this. If Neely Fuller had the strategy, why didn't he organize the people and move on the strategy? Not knocking him. What I'm saying is that we got to clearly be able to look at our elders and say, okay, this is why he didn't do it, or maybe he couldn't do it, or whatever the case may be, but I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do it. You see what I'm saying? My thing is the solution and the liberation lies in the execution. And the thing is, you don't have to execute. Listen, you don't have to execute the full plan in your generation. It's just like, I like when somebody point out Claude Anderson. Claude Anderson got a mean plan, but how many people did Claude Anderson organize around his plan? So we have a saying in the Moorish Science Temple of America, if man know, he must be what he know. So if Claude Anderson know he got the plan, why haven't Dr. Claude Anderson organized people to execute the plan? If man knows, he must be what he know. If Dr. Claude Anderson know that this plan is official, now he must be that. See, we scared. We scared to face hard facts. If I know a plan, I must be that plan. I'm not knocking our elders. I think Dr. Claude Anderson is amazing. He is amazing to me. However, to say that you have the ultimate plan and talk about it for 10, 15, 20 years without execution, you don't believe in your plan yourself. I'm going to say it again. We have people in the chat screaming out Claude Anderson, which is an amazing brother. He is an amazing brother. The point that I'm making is, if everybody is screaming out Claude Anderson, I'm pretty sure in his prime, he had other people screaming out for him too. Those same people that filled up the auditorium are the muscle behind the plan, is all I'm saying. They are the muscle behind the plan. Like, only thing I'm saying, family, is that we're to the point. We're to the point. I like First Media Works. He said NOI has been executing a plan for over 90 years. I disagree, and brother, you can hit the link. I disagree. I disagree. NOI have been executing a plan for NOI. NOI have not been executing a plan for the collective of all of us, with all due respect. NOI have been building NOI. NOI have not been building in a bipartisan way. They have been building the NOI brand. I would debate anybody on it. I would debate anybody on it. I would debate anybody respectfully as men with no passion involved. As men, brothers and sisters, I would debate anybody on it, and I would show emphatic proof. I would show emphatic proof that NOI has been building the NOI brand, not the collective, for all of those who have suffered at the hands of the oppressor. At the hand of oppressor. I will debate anybody on it any day. Any day. But don't feel bad, NOI. The Moorish Science Temple of America did the same thing. Those who have called themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America. See, I'm a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but Moorish Science Temple of America have done the same thing. See, I'm man enough to recognize that. I'm man enough to recognize that. And the only way that we are able to move forward, we have to recognize our errors. If we don't recognize our errors, we'll never move forward. If we don't recognize where we went wrong, we will never move forward. Somebody said NOI gave the plan to do for self and own businesses and independence, etc. That is not a collective plan. That's an individual plan and an individual decision, and it's individual. It affects the lives of individuals. And if you join the NOI, you will get yourself right. NOI got a tremendous program of getting people clean, a tremendous program of turning lost souls into righteous brothers and sisters. However, as a collective, those who are not members of the NOI, those that don't subscribe to the regimented program of the NOI, they will fall to the wayside. Same thing with the Moorish Science Temple of America. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I work with, I talk to anybody. And I'm not going to compel them to put on affairs. I'm not going to compel them to be a Moorish American. But I will say is that, listen, what you got to bring to the table, what talent you got to bring to the table, we need that. Somebody says that a strategy of the NOI. That's a strategy, but that strategy is for the NOI. It's not, it's for the NOI brand. Anybody can debate me on it. But with that being said, let me go to the next thing, because I don't want to get stuck on NOI, but I will get back to that in a second. Now, when you look at the NAACP, I want to ask somebody, what is the plan of the NAACP? In fact, Let me cut through the chase. Let's get straight to NOI. NOI plan, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is as following. Let's go straight to the source. What do Muslims want? Y'all see that? What do Muslims want? Let's go straight to the source. This is what Muslims want. This is not what I'm saying. This is not what I'm saying. This is what Elijah Muhammad said. This is a question asked most frequently by whites and blacks. The answer to the questions I shall state as simply as possible. Listen to this. We want freedom. We want full and complete freedom. Number one. Number two, we want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. Follow this now. We want equality of opportunity. We want equal membership in society with the best and civilized society. Two questions. How can you have equality and equal membership in society if you say that politics is not the way to go and stay out of that, and politics is the way that the money and the resources are being governed? You would never have equality or opportunity and membership in society without the application of your involvement in politics that controls the resources. And I'm not talking about this fake politics where if somebody give you somebody, as I said on the last show. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a strategic plan to involve yourself, to select your own people, and then elect your own people. But anybody that's in the nation, even my brother that was here earlier, will tell you that the nation does not participate. Or I know during the time of Elijah Muhammad, there was no participating in politics whatsoever. And politics is what control the resources. Politics is what control the statutes. Politics is what controls the laws. Politics is what controls your everyday liberties in this country. This is facts. This is facts. He said, not true, GS. I can show you where Elijah Muhammad himself gave the order to leave that stuff alone. Oh, today they don't. He said NOI does not stay out of politics. Not today, but according to Elijah Muhammad, oh yeah. I'm not talking about what you do today. See, I got to go back to the source. I got you, First Media. I'm going to email it to you. Let me get on with this. But if I show it to you, then what? I'm going to show it to you. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Now, secondly, and I don't want to, but because people spoke on the nation, I'm just going to bring it up real quick. I'm just going to, because I don't want to get stuck on the nation because this ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? And I know people are in love with their demonstration. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that First Media works. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to definitely show it to you. Stand by. But let me finish what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You see this? If you're talking about liberation, there is no need for white man's politics. Politics don't have to be white man's politics. There's no such thing as white man politics. European politics, there's no such thing as that. Let me ask you this. Let me stop for a minute. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. I like y'all chiming in real quick. Let me stop this for a minute. All right. Let me stop this for a minute. I'm gonna show you how we have been misguided about politics. All right. Let's go to Baltimore. I'm going to use Baltimore as an example, right? You said white man politics. I'm going to show you how we've been fooled about politics, right? I'm going to show you right now, real quick. And I'm just going to give you something brief. I'm going to give you something brief. How we've been fooled about politics. Don't fall for the okie doke. You know what I mean? How you going to fall for the okie doke? Watch this. Okay. I'm going to pull this up for you real quick, family. Let me pull this up for you real quick. All right, here we go. I'm going to show you how we've been fooled about politics. We tripping. We tripping. Let me show you something. All right. I'm going to show you how we've been tricked about politics. And we fall for the okie doke all the time while they take the bread and run. You know what I mean? Now, start right here. So we're looking at Baltimore, right? Let me make sure that you can see my cursor real quick. So I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to take you to Charles Village. Let's just deal with Charles Village because that is a neighborhood. That is a neighborhood that is definitely influential. So listen to this, family. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all see Charles Village. Let's deal with 31st all the way down to 24th Street, right? Here we go. If Charles Village or even Guilford, for that matter, right? If Charles Village has 5,200 residents in it, and there is, and this is just on a small scale, and there is a seat open for the council seat in Charles Village. If 90% of the people there look like you, but a European is in that seat, something is wrong with that picture. That's the same thing happened in St. Louis when the brother got killed. A predominantly neighborhood, predominantly city, that's us, but Europeans was running it. You know why? Because we wasn't participating. So now, if you got an A-type personality in Charles Village to organize the real people of Charles Village, and they select their own in Charles Village, now their own will be able to bring the resources back to Barclay Street. That ain't the white man's quote unquote politics. That's common sense. If I can organize thoroughbreds, the real deal, to canvass Charles Village and let them know that we have selected this person to bring the bread back to you. That ain't white man politics. That's what they want you to believe. When I select my man, Jimmy John don't got to know nothing about politics. Jimmy John go in there with our numbers and bring the bag back. Y'all think that's politics? Y'all think that's European? Y'all think that's the white man politics? Y'all think that's the white man politics? I debate you on another show. Let's debate tomorrow first, Works Media. Let's debate it tomorrow. Because I'm going to make my point. We can debate it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Listen, K. Hall say, you know the European always counterattack. How can you counterattack? How can you counterattack with 5,200, with 4,000 people signed up to roll with you. How can you counterattack that? There is no counterattack. I'm just giving this number. It's 5,200 people in the community. We got 4,000 people, cell phones, emails, addresses, total communication. 4,000. How can they counterattack that? What they gonna do? Walk out with the voting machine? What they gonna do? What they gonna do? I got the paper. I got all the numbers right here. I got the numbers. I got the phone numbers. I got the emails. I got the addresses. I got the backup. I got everything. Akhenaten got a copy. Fard Wise got a copy. Hussein Hassan got a copy. How they going to counter that? Now, on a small scale, this could happen in every city where we are predominantly the number, where we are the predominant number. Hussein Hassan said make laws to suppress us. Guess what? In a place where there's 5,200 and we got 4,200, y'all gonna make us lose our mind up in here, up in here. We gotta stop making excuses for not being active. We're making excuses for not being active. You not getting no freedom with no gun. Let me tell you something. They'll be sitting with the remote control. If you think you're going to beat them with they be sitting with the remote control. If you think you're going to beat them with your little gun that you bought from them at the Bass Pro Shop, you brought your gun from them. You bought your ammunition from them. But you holding guns talking about black power. You brought that from them. You think they're selling you more ammunition than them? There has to be an alternative. Do y'all believe in our ancestors? Do y'all believe in our ancestors? Do y'all believe that there's an alternative? Do y'all believe that there's an alternative besides screaming black power? Do we even believe that anymore? Do we believe that there's an alternative? You done went and got your gun from Lil Ricky at the Bass Pro Shop. Now you talking about black power. You was just in there talking your European language to him. Yeah, you know, I'm doing it to protect my home. Oh, yeah, I like to do some target practicing. You change your whole voice up and everything. I mean, hide your dreads and all that. I know what you do. You don't go up in there with your black power costume on. You go in there talking like Grandmaster Jay when he was running for political office. That's what you do. I mean, now somebody said what's wrong. Ain't nothing wrong saying black power, but don't be hypocritical. Don't be hypocritical. That's the point that I'm making. But now let's go to the next one. Now look, so here we go. So now, I know it's going to get some people mad. But it's all right. So now, I'm still on NOI for a second. I already know I'm going to get some people mad, but it is what it is because I ain't going to just stay on NOI. So NOI says, we want our people in America whose parents and grandparents were descendants from slaves to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own. Again, we can play around with this language if we want to. But nobody has to allow me to do anything. Nobody has to allow me to do anything. To be allowed is just the wrong language. And if we ain't going to admit this, then we have a problem. To be allowed to establish a separate state or territory on their own, either on the continent or elsewhere. And here we go. We believe that the former slave masters are obligated to provide such land, and that area must be fertile and minerally rich. Now, do we really think that's practical? You really believe that the same person that is planning your demise every day is going to provide you with some land? And he's obligated. You believe he's obligated. I don't believe he's obligated. I don't believe he's obligated. He don't owe me nothing. He don't owe me nothing. Anything that I get will be on my own accord, and it will be a bonus. But he don't owe me nothing. He don't owe me nothing. European don't owe me nothing. And that area must be fertile and minerally rich. We believe that our former slave masters is obligated to maintain and supply our needs in this separate territory. We really believe this? I don't believe he's obligated to do nothing. How can one who has perpetually, strategically put him in place to be on top, would I believe that he's obligated to do anything for me? And to do it for 20 to 25 years. If he does, that's a bonus, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit. Now, here we go. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just telling the truth that we are scared to admit. Now, if this is the plan, of NOI according to our good brother Elijah Muhammad, we in trouble. If this is the plan, if this is what we believe, a belief system. Fraud say, what do you believe? I believe that we are going to do this independently of ourselves by utilizing everything at our disposal and not asking for nothing, but taking our place in the affairs of men. That's what I believe. I believe we will take our place in the affairs of men, whether it's with me or it's with someone else. I'm not against reparations. No, that's not what I'm saying. I will take my place in the affairs of men. I will create the conditions to get a return on the work that my people have experienced or demonstrated in this country. I will take my place in the affairs of men. I will take it. I don't believe they're going to obligate it. I don't believe they're going to give me nothing. I don't believe they're obligated. I'm going to take my place in the affairs of men, and I'm going to move strategically along the way. I'm going to take it. That doesn't mean I'm going to be bullying, man, give it to me. It's a stick up. Nope. Because let me tell you something. When the European took his, the gun was the last thing. Keep telling y'all. The gun was the last thing. When the European conquered every land on this earth, the gun was the last thing. Y'all didn't notice when they went up against the Zulus? When they went up against the Zulus, the gun was the last thing. When they went up against the Native Americans, the quote-unquote Indians, the gun was the last thing. We need to learn how to move strategically, family. This is all I'm saying. We got to move intelligently. We got to move intelligently. Well, if one is focusing on reparations, fine. Let that be a part of the whole strategic plan. But one need to focus on politics and let that focus on the strategic plan. And then another group of the same group need to be focused on economics. And then another group of the same organization need to be focusing on social as well as moral. You understand what I'm saying? Social and moral. So the same plan is executed on every level. Now, you might think I'm talking like everybody else, but no, we're about to put this plan together. I'm trying to tell you. It's not one over the other. It's not reparation. We need reparations. Oh, we need to be spiritually free. Oh, we don't need this, but we need that. No, we need everything. But we all got to be together in one strategic plan. And it can't be every money that you make from a Million Man March, it goes to the Nation of Islam. It can't be, oh, we didn't make no money from that. It can't be the Moorish Americans talk about proclaim your nationality. That's why you dying, because you black. It can't be that. It can't be this stupid ideology that got us nowhere. It can't be that. It can't be good talk either. Just like Tan Gant says, question, how do we start your plan? That's where we're supposed to be at right now. We're supposed to be right there where Tan Gant is. How do we start your plan? If you ain't there, then you just want to go. You might as well go watch Black News 102 and be stroked and talk about religion all day. How do we start your plan? That's where we're supposed to go. Or let's get together and let me share my plan with you. See, one thing about me, the plan that I know is not exclusively for brothers and sisters who are part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's for brothers and sisters who identify as being under the oppressive system that we find ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. It's about all of us. It's about all of us. It's not about because you call yourself a Moor or because you call yourself a Hebrew, because you join the Nation of Islam or you join the Moorish Science. This ain't about that. And when a brother give defense for the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. That's where your loyalty lies. I get that. If a brother want to fight me over my position on those who call themselves Moorish Americans, I get that. That's where your loyalty lies. But after your loyalty lies, there's more people lying down on the ground dead. There's more people lying on the ground dead. And we don't have no plan of action. We don't have no leverage. Where is the leverage? Where is the leverage? Anybody got the leverage? Who has the leverage? I see my brother was up in here. Somebody type it in here. Where is the leverage? And I don't want to get in dogmatic talk. I'm going to open up the floor in a minute. But where is the leverage? Who has the leverage? Do NOI has the leverage to stop this nonsense, to even make them fearful, who has the leverage? Where is it? Black Lives Matter don't have it. The Panthers don't have no leverage. There is not a community. There is not a community here right now, Not NOI, not the MST of A, not the Christian community, not these pop-up organizations, Rainbow Coalition. They don't have no leverage against this European. This European ain't thinking about you. He ain't thinking about you. I know you don't want to hear it. The European ain't thinking about you. We talk all this stuff. We want to big up all of these small little milestones. European ain't thinking about these organizations. That's why they continue to do what they're doing. They ain't think about you. They know that you're going to go buy Gucci tomorrow. They know that you're going to go and smoke your brain out tomorrow. They know. Get to the next one. The NAACP, for instance, right? The NAACP has been around since 1909. Can anybody show me the plan for NAACP? Jamal Yah, show me the plan for NFAC. Besides talking, besides Morning Mental, besides give us Texas, besides we going to Africa. What is the plan? Grandmaster Jay been talking for a year. He ain't said no plan yet. And I don't expect him to execute his plan online. Grandmaster Jay is an agent yet and still, but I would still give him the platform to lay out the plan. Or actually move on some type of plan. What's the plan? When Grandmaster Jay came on the scene, what was the plan? To march up Stone Mountain? To get some barriers around you and march and say, all eyes on Bree? That's the plan? Is that the plan? Somebody said, what are my thoughts on Percy Miller? Percy Miller is using the ideal. I think Percy Miller is doing a good thing. Let me say this. You know what I'm saying? I think Percy Miller is doing a good thing. But if he really wants to affect change, he have to get with someone who has a collective plan that is going to help us all in the end. All the brand foods that Percy Miller is putting out, unfortunately, I got to tell the truth, they filled with salt, they filled with sugar. Come on, man, Rap Snacks, that ain't nothing but salt. Ain't we the one filled with hypertension and high blood pressure? The cereal he put out, it ain't nothing but marshmallows, pork, and sugar. Come on, man. We got to do better. We got to do better is all I'm saying. I salute if that's what he's doing because that's what he want to do. And that's what he only know to do. But if I was to inform him or someone would inform him, would he change and make it so we can live another day? Would he change? If that's all he know, that's good. You know what I'm saying? At least he trying something. But if he know better, if he go home and don't eat swine, but he's selling it, that's a problem. He's no different than the Arab. He's no different than the Arab. If he go home and make sure that his salt intake is not that much, but he sell Rap Snacks that's full of salt, that's hypocritical. That's just hypocritical. You can't go home and watch your salt, but sell your people some potato chips that got a whole the sea salt on it, salt everywhere. I mean, come on, we got to be real. We just got to be real. I like Percy. That's my man. But come on, we got to do better. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We got to do better. Let me see something. So listen. So the NAACP, has been around since 1909. Still haven't produced a plan for everybody as a collective. Not one. Not one. There's not one plan that we can find on the books all this time. Here is the president of the NAACP. Do anybody know who Derek Johnson is? Guess what? To Europeans, he represents you. Let me get to Kimberly Harrison. Kimberly Harrison said NFAC gave a plan. He stated we need to buy our own land, build our own lawn, and get reparation for black. That's not a plan. That's an idea. That's not a plan. That's an idea. That's an idea. That's not a plan. A plan is something that is executable and you are executing it. Like a what you call it, a business plan? That plan means nothing till you execute it. I got a business plan. Imagine you tell somebody, yeah, I'll be in business next year. I have a business plan. A plan must be executed to be validated. That's what it is. I'm just trying to wake you up. Just trying to wake you up. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you that ain't nobody gave us a plan for us all. I'm gonna open the floor in a minute. Because I want to see what the plan is. Don't tell me, oh, clean yourself up. Don't tell me do this and do that. No, I'm talking about a plan that liberates the entire nation of people that go by the term Black, African American, Moor, Israelite, Christian, etc. I want to know that plan. I don't want to know your little side plan. I want to know that plan. That's all I want to know. Get off of drugs. Okay, that's cool. Guess what? 12-step program can do that. Watch the thing on Bobby Brown. He's looking real good today. Somebody said the idea comes first. Do you realize how many ideas we have and nothing hasn't been executed yet? The idea comes first. How many ideas are we going to keep having? We named Neely Fuller. We named Malcolm X. We named Claude Anderson. Y'all ready to execute or not? That's the point. General Bernard say he got a plan. General Bernard got a plan. He should be emailing me. Empress Lattest said we need action. That's what this is all about. Let me say this. My Moorish World TV is about getting people to understand that it's time for us to move. And I know people are in love with their organizations. I know First Works Media in love with the Nation of Islam. I'm in love with the Moorish Science Temple of America. But I'm going to tell you, the Moorish Science Temple of America, until me, have not spoken or not even attempted to speak for those Christian brothers and sisters, those super lost brothers and sisters. In fact, they just come along as they come along. Okay, you come in and you learn the teachings and you get cleaned up, and then the leader take credit for it. But when I'm talking about as a collective, what's the plan for the collective? Whether they believe like you believe or not, what is the plan? Y'all understand what I'm saying, family? Whether people believe like you believe or not, would you fight for them? And fighting for them don't mean that you got to put everything in a Moorish vernacular or Islamic or Christian vernacular. It's putting a team together that will be successful for everybody, whether they believe what you believe or not. That's where we need to be at today. That's where we need to be at today. I definitely got a plan, but we ain't gonna talk about that tonight. I want to share a few more things with you, family. Then we're gonna open the floor up. So, when you look at Until Freedom, what is Until Freedom's plan? I'm almost done. Campaign development with tangible demands. When presented with tragedy, a case of injustice, a bad policy, we have the ability to build multifaceted, multi-pronged campaign that includes digital communication, managing, messaging, and power analysis, and winnable ask. Rapid response triage. We have training and ability to quickly mobilize, contact, organize of faith leaders and organizations. Do you hear this plan that they're giving you? This is the plan. This is the plan for Until Freedom. Media advocacy, faith-based outreach engagement. This is the plan. When somebody kill you, this is the plan. There is no plan to dissolve any of this. Brother say it's not as if the black man has no plan. He haven't come up with a plan. It's just every plan that the black man thought of was counterattacked by the United States government, including black agents. So you think that they're smarter than you? That's a reason to stop planning? Or did you learn from them and learn how to better plan? Is that so they counterattack? So now there's no need for any more planning. Is that the purpose of this? Because they counterattack, and then we have agents among us. We haven't learned how to recognize the agents. We haven't learned how to we have all of these examples. Now, King Kulanji, I'm just saying, I'm doing this for the people, brother, not you. I'm doing this for the people. We have all these examples. We have not studied them. We have not studied them enough so we can see what an agent look like. We haven't studied them enough so we can see what infiltration look like. We haven't studied. We have enough examples. We have enough examples. The problem is that we never go back and study to see what it look like. This is how you know how I could recognize Grandmaster Jay. You know how I could recognize Grandmaster Jay was an agent. You know why? I'm going to give it to you a buck. It was simple as this. I recognized Grandmaster Jay was an agent when I was 17 years old. We had a tight circle in my neighborhood. And I lived in a big neighborhood. It was called Bywaters, and we used to call it H2O. Big neighborhood. But we had up street, we had down street. And we would have football games against each other and all of that. As we got older, we began to hustle a little bit, whatever. But I'm going to tell you something. From my experience in that neighborhood, I knew, because I grew up in the 80s crack era. I knew that at the height of the crack era, two things that would never happen. someone will pop out of nowhere and start hustling or get in the dice game. That was number one. If nobody knew you, you cannot pop up and say 10 or 4. I fade you on, and let me fade you. Everybody will look around and be like, don't nobody know you. You got to get out of here. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't coming on any corner doing nothing because don't nobody know you. That was the dead giveaway for Grandmaster Jay. Although we get on people with these podcasts, we get on people that are inactive and they just talking to make money on these podcasts, they do have a track record. You know, when you look at my good brothers like Red Pill, Blue Pill, Sidnetta, Unk, whether you agree with them or not, they have track records. You look at Nori Muhammad, you look at Wesley Muhammad, on and on and on, Shaka Atmos, they do have some sort of track records. This guy popped out of nowhere, ain't nobody knew him. He popped out of nowhere, nobody knew him. And everybody was cheering him on. I'm like, nah, man. Nah, man. Nobody knew him. That was the first red flag. I started making calls. You know this guy? You know that guy? You know this guy? You know that guy? Nobody knew him. That was a dead giveaway. Then I start researching. Who is this guy that popped out of nowhere? And then the lies begin to unravel. He was a fake DJ. You know what I'm saying? Then he ran for president. He said he was the mixtape champion. All the lies. He had 8 Grammys. All the lies begin to come out. And so that was the dead giveaway. And so what I'm trying to say is that we must be honest. We must be honest. Many would have what we call plans, but they really just ideas. Because a business plan is nothing without execution. A business plan is nothing without execution. You're still broke. So those are just ideas. That's how I like to look at it. Those are just ideas. With that being said, you look at Until Freedom, they don't have a plan. Black Lives Matter, they don't have a plan. Let me share this real quick. Black Lives Matter, they have a plan, but it's not for collective liberations. They don't have a plan. Follow what I'm saying? Where is the plan? Where is the plan? We affirm black lives of black queer and trans folks. If this is about Black Lives Matter, why on your website you put a heck of a lot of emphasis on queer and trans? I thought it's about black lives. I never thought it was about sexual orientation. I thought it was about black lives. Why would a group that is supposed to be about the interests of a group of people going by the term black would put a special interest on black and queer? Crip said it. There you go. There you go. Unbelievable to me. And there's Grandmaster Jay. What is Grandmaster Jay playing? Grandmaster Jay don't have a plan. Grandmaster Jay showing out for the European and the camera. Grandmaster Jay showing out for the camera. Ain't no plan right there. Y'all believe that's a plan? Then we really in trouble. We really in trouble. Follow what I'm saying? We in super trouble. I'm going to put the link up in there. One second. I'm going to put the link up in there. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to put this out there, because it is time that we begin to move on a plan. But the plan don't need to be televised. And if you are in a group of people that say they're about liberation, then you should be putting your plan to the table. Who is dispatched? Who is dispatched when one of us is killed and they put up a formidable opposition? I'm going to leave it open. I'm going to leave it open. Let's see somebody pop up in here. Let me get me a couple more. Now, what I wanted to show is, let me give this. I'm going to bring all the slides up if the brother want to go with me with it. First of all, let me say this. All right. Ain't nobody hit the link yet? All right. All right. Ain't nobody hit the link yet? What y'all doing? Everybody was getting at me. Where they at? I thought they was getting at me. All right. So I know what's going to happen, though. I thought people want to come and talk about the plans. I'm finished talking now. Where my good brother at? Where my good brother First Works Media? Where my good brother First Works Media? That's my good brother. That's my good brother. I just wanted to finish talking, and then I was going to allow anybody to come in and say whatever they want. Show me the plan. What's the plan? Huh? What's the plan? We ain't got nobody in here to represent NOI? We ain't got no MOORS up in here to represent? Huh? They was talking while I was giving my little presentation. Y'all had to go to bed? What happened? First Works Media, that's my guy. Let's not get that twisted. Like I said, this is no attack on anybody. I'm just telling you that nobody has given us a plan to get up out of this condition. I'm telling you, it's time for us to execute a plan. Where they at, Crip? Where they at, Crip? We need some Jeopardy music up in this demonstration. Let me hold up. Maybe they missed the link. There we go. General Bernard. General Bernard in the building. What's up, General Bernard?
Hey, what's going on, Tahaka? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. What's the plan, brother? You got the plan? I said you say you got the plan, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first things first when it comes to talking about a plan is that we got to gain the trust of the people back, man. Like black people, as we can see, we don't even trust each other. You know, so the first thing we have to do is bring a trust to the community, and doing that, one way to do that is to get out there, to help feed them, to help clothe them, show them that you care, and do it consistently. That's gonna bring a love. That's gonna bring a trust. And once you have that, you move on to the next step. You know, first thing, whenever we talking about a plan, we need to know what's the end of it. At the end of it, what are we trying to get out of? We're trying to get self-sufficiency as a people, out of the oppression of these, you know, whatever you want to call them, whatever the white folks you call them. But the first thing we have to do is to get that love, and once we do that, we move on to the next, and that next thing is, before we want to break away from them, we have to be able to support ourselves, feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, and that comes with growing, teaching the people about growing food, because we can't live without eating. So that's the first part of the plan. The second part is like you said, politics. It plays a part. Like that's what we living in now. So we can't just say we can't deal with it because they can, like you say, control the resources. So we, like you say, we gather around someone that we feel like is righteous, and that's the hard part though, because you get somebody that say they're righteous, and then next thing you know, they get in office and somebody then bought them off couple 100,000 is over with for you. Now you waiting on the next election, you know. So that's the hard part, finding somebody that's righteous. And
let me ask you, where if you don't mind me, what part of the country are you in, General?
Man, I'm down in Louisiana.
Okay.
Louisiana.
Are you near Shreveport?
I'm 2 hours from Shreveport. 2 hours from Shreveport, 2 hours from Baton Rouge.
Okay, so now check this out. Let's look at Shreveport, for example, right?
Right.
What if we could look at a map on the wall and narrow down the political districts of Shreveport,
right,
one political district at a time, right?
Right.
And we were able to assemble a team to go door to door and let people know that everything that you buy in your community that you pay taxes on, that's your money, and we want to get your money back. Join us to help get your money back. How do you do that? How do you do that? We need, in this little geographic location, there is, and I'm going to use 5,200 people, there's 5,200 people. We need at least 4,000 people that want their money back. How do you get your money back? Because from the collective of the 4,000, one of us is going in there to use the pen to get our money back. But we need you to help us get our money back. See, we can cut the chase of the moral because they're going to smoke weed. They're going to drink liquor. They're going to buy diapers. They're going to buy hair, and they pay a tax on it. We can get to the other stuff too, but let's get to the money. At the end of the day, it's a money game. I'm saying is, if you're able to talk to the people in the local neighborhoods and get them to rally behind that concept, we can deal with every other concept too. But let me get your number, let me get your email, let me get your address, and I need you to sign this for me, and I need you to appear when you get that text message.
That's right.
We can build on everything else too.
Everything you're saying is what I'm out here doing, Tahaka. Every other week I have food programs. I'm out here in the community, and I'll get people phone numbers, and I call them, and I tell them, hey, when I call and I say I have this plan that or whatever I have, I'm gonna call you. If you say you about the people, I'm gonna call you on it, and if you can help us, we can help us. So I have things like on all levels. This liberation process is a bunch of different levels. Right now, we have to start with what we can touch and what we can affect in our small little capacity of what we can do. Like right now, all I can really affect is this little small town of Alexandria.
Absolutely. But General, but if you can affect the small town of Alexandria, right? We had almost 370 people in here that may have a love for our people. If 370 people gave $20 and we can get people dispatched to there so you can get the people organized there to move on a program to get into that seat with the pen. We need the pen in our hand.
Right now, I'm working with city councilman and the mayor to get a program implemented. Right now, I'm meeting tomorrow.
No, I'm saying that is great. But imagine if you had 4,000 or 5,000 or whatever the population is moving in one part. You know what I'm saying? That's every other thing is good. We need all of it. But our strength is in numbers. And everybody don't have to be. This is why I never push the Moorish browbeating thing, as you might see on the internet. I don't push that. That's garbage. I don't push that nonsense. What I'm pushing is that we got this boot on our neck. Now, what's the common denominator that we all can move together? If you're in Alexandria, how can I get 10 people down there to help knock on these doors so you can get 30 people to knock on doors, and you take them 30 people to get 60 people, and them 60 people can make a collective of 4,000 people to affect change immediately.
If people want to help me, they can reach out to me, via Facebook, email, phone number, man. I really don't care, and we have avenues of getting donations and things like that. We use the Cash App as well. But I don't know, as far as if people want to come down here and help us out, man.
No, what I'm saying, brother,
let me know.
This is what I'm saying, brother. I'm talking about offline. I lay out this program. You know what I'm saying? I lay out this program. And the objective is to look at the political landscape. What did it take for the last person to be in the office that controls the money? How many votes did it take? You understand? What would it take to sway the votes? All of this analysis have to take place. This is moving intelligently.
So another thing that has already taken place here, like we, for the past 4 years, and I don't know what's been going on with the seats rotating because councilmen been dying and things like that. I'm getting in officials that we want to get into the city council seat. Like, we get behind them, we go knock on doors. That's what we've been doing. We've been knocking on doors, and we've been getting people that we want put in these seats. Now we're to the point to where the people that we got put into these seats, we're holding them accountable for the things.
Man, you were already with the program, man. Email me, man, so we can all put this together, man. That's the program. That's it.
That's right.
It's called the accountability. Our program is the accountability. The Alliance for Political Accountability, where we hold ourselves accountable, and whoever we get in office or whoever we decide that can remain in office, they are accountable to us.
That's right. That's exactly the stage we're at right now.
That's why we need the numbers. So when they decide not to be accountable,
we show them.
Knock on that door.
We got the people behind us.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Right. I hope you email me, brother.
I definitely. I don't know your email. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know your email.
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
That's right, and I'll email you.
I'm putting it in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. See, this is the part we gotta avoid. 1 out of 6 is a snitch, though. We have seen this many times. We know what a snitch look like. If we should, at this stage of the game, we should know what a snitch look like. At this stage of the game, we should know what the energy of a snitch look like. At this stage of the game, if you don't know,
and look, and can I say this too? Because I know people may be looking at my shirt and they may be saying, but yeah. So I did get introduced to the Black Power movement through the RBPP. I'm gonna say that. That was me. My heart was in the right place. I never met Ali. I never met any of the people that have been on your show. Honestly, ever. None of them. So that part it wasn't a personal thing for me. Anything that I seen wasn't personal for me. Because I know what I'm doing here in my little small town, and it's making a big ass difference. And I continue to do what we do under the name that I said that I was. So part right there, I just want people to know that don't think that because I am wearing this shirt right here. We had a food program today, you know, and we gave away food, clothes. Go look us up on the internet, man. We did it. We do it every other week. So don't think because you see this shirt that I'm a you know, op, snitch, like that, or any of that y'all done already uncovered. So I'm gonna just say that part off the top too, just to let people know.
Man, look, man,
it's all
listen,
real over here, real enough.
Brother, I can hear the sincerity in your voice. I don't trip off of that. Those things, man. Listen, man. Some people might look at my fans and believe the dumb stuff. Moors enslaved black people. That stuff don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, I hear your sincerity, and I think that we can work together because you already work in the program that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just holding yourself accountable. I'm just saying that we need to have access to more numbers at a drop of a text at all times. We need people to give a commitment at the drop of a text. Because let me tell you something. That's how they move. That's how they move. When they throw out that mass text to let you know, oh, voting is going to be at such and such and such and such. We need to have that same access.
DC.
Say it again.
Everybody's at DC.
There you go. So, brother, I put my email in there.
Everybody was at DC at the drop of a text.
There you go. That's why we need the numbers, brother.
Gotcha.
That's why we need the numbers. And I will come. I will actually, if I can't afford it myself, I got enough friends here that will help me get to where I need to go to help organize. But we need something concrete. We need something real. You feel what I'm saying, my brother? We need something real. And you doing it already. And I'm ready to assist.
I definitely feel you.
My man, I got my brother here. I salute, brother. It's tahakabay at Gmail, tahakabay at Yahoo. Email me, brother. I'm writing you in the book, and I'm gonna be calling you soon. All right. I think you went out on me. All right, my brother. 322. What it do?
What's up, brother Bay?
Brother, listen. I know I'm gonna take a lot of slack for this show. I'm gonna take a lot. As you can see, the brothers of the nation was coming in, and that's my brother, First Works Media. But it seemed like we got a problem admitting that as a collective, as a plan for the collective, we don't have one. Like, if you're not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America paradigm, not the Tahaka and those who in the temple that I spearheading, but these other groups call themselves Moorish Science Temple of America. If you ain't about proclaiming your nationality, saying you're Moorish American, you can cancel that. They will talk like they want to assist you. They could talk like they for their people, but it's always a bait and catch to bring you in to become a Moorish American or proclaim Moorish American. And that's what a lot of these groups do. It's a bait and catch so you can join and be an asset to them, not to us as a whole. What I'm saying is that this Alliance for Political Accountability, this is so we all can eat, be free, or at least on the path to freedom. And with the access to those numbers, if we need to spring into action in a state of emergency, we know how to communicate with one another. Right now, we don't have nothing.
You're right. You don't have
Let me tell you something. 322, and then I'm going to yield the floor. During the time the Freddie Gray riots, right? I was right out there in the heart of it. I had to leave around 11:30 at night because they cut the cell phones. You could not use this cell phone. There was no signal.
Correct.
So I come on back home, right? Because my sons was home. And my oldest son was looking after the younger sons while I was going out there filming with the homeboys, whatever. the cable communication was gone. Nothing but fuzz. Our people don't even know alternative communications outside of a cell phone. This is how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, the organizing is not only about political accountability, it's about accountability to ensure your survival in case the disaster comes.
And that's what the people
Who has that plan?
Mm-hmm.
What is NOI plan? What is the MOORS plan? What is the church plan? If they was to try to annihilate us right now, like they did the European Jews, what is the plan? Ain't nobody got no plan, brother.
They ain't got no plan. That's facts. You're right. There's no plan. You know, and like the plan should be self-preservation. No matter if you're in the NOI, Moorish Sons Temple, Hebrew Israelites, the plan should be for the self-preservation for the black family. Period. That's just what it be. So these incidents that you're seeing, you're witnessing, like I'm still stuck on the police brutality, so I can't move past that. Police brutality, the plan should be to stop police brutality. You see, Malcolm X had the same speech back in the 60s. Police brutality. Decades later, we still in 2021 police brutality. We can't get their knee off our neck. We can't make any moves. We gotta realize that you gotta deal with that police brutality. Period.
And 322, this is my point. What is the call to action when one of us is falling? Besides marching.
Oh, marching ain't gonna do nothing. Come on.
What is the action? What is, man, listen.
Okay.
I was hoping my brother First Work Medias came in. Because I'm going to ask him and anybody else. Somebody say disaster is here. Disaster ain't here yet. It ain't here yet. This is child's play right now as to what's to come. This is child's play. But I would ask him, what is your response to these Europeans that attack us?
Mm-hmm.
NOI. What is the response? I haven't seen any. I haven't seen none from the Moors. I haven't seen none from the Hebrew Israelites. I haven't seen none from anybody. I haven't seen none of these brothers who has the loudest mouth on social media. I haven't seen no response. I tell you, I'm in the background trying to organize people so we can have a practical response. I will tell you that about me. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen these people that have been organized for 20 and 30, 40 years with a practical response. Maybe they have, but I haven't seen it.
Well, you know, with the Asian Americans, as we saw within the past 2 weeks, because they said they was getting all this racism from different people, they got a law to protect them. You know, it'd be a hate crime for you, say, to go back to China or something like that within the 2-week period with this new President Joe Biden. So while having the same people introduced a bill to protect black people against police brutality. If the Asian Americans can have that like in weeks or months, black people been going through this for centuries. You can't introduce a bill of protection to protect black people from these so-called training, mistakes, you know, all these different excuses, because that's what it is. Excuses that leads to innocent black lives being taken. You know, it's time and time again, and it's not going to stop until we make it stop. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, I think one of the things that we have to do, 322, we have to realize that these policy makers and policies enforcers ain't going nowhere. We would get on the basketball court and play basketball all day long. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. I would never say that. But why we ain't playing that game as hard as we playing basketball, as hard as we rapping, as hard as we making these videos, as hard as we doing all these other stuff.
Exactly. All these distractions.
I look at Ben X, man. They be talking about how successful, how much money they get, and this, that, and the third, and they give it right back to the European. Go buy a Bentley. He had a video the other day where the brother just bought a Bentley for $7, whatever, how much money he got. Gave it right back to the European. Ain't no land, ain't no nothing. And I ain't want to knock my young brother because I get it. It is what it is. You live your life, big bro. But my point that I'm saying is, as a brother who's a little bit older than him, my thing is, like, I didn't seen all that before. I grew up in the crack era. I'm not impressed by none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? When do we have a plan that's going to put us all on a path to getting over the top? And like I said, the politics ain't the end all be all.
No.
But we put so much energy in trying to get money. We put so much energy in basketball, rapping, playing games, putting in businesses. We ain't putting no energy, none, to be at the political games. That's pretty sad. When the politics is what controls the resource, that's where we should be most proficient.
You're right. You're right on that. You're right.
Crazy, man.
And
crazy.
We're going to keep repeating this, man, until people realize that we have no choice. We got to think on self-preservation, period. We need to be protecting ourselves, man. You know, when an organism just grows and just grows without any form of protection, it becomes food for another organism. Black people are food to this racism, this race caste system, man.
Yes, sir.
We must have protection. So with that being said, they're not going to give you justice. They're not going to give us reparations.
You had to take that.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, we got to take it, man. We got to take everything, man. Period.
You know what I mean? You got to take it intellectually. You got to take it socially. You got to take it spiritually. And there may even come a time where you might have to take it physically.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And if you're not prepared, restoration on all levels, whether it be the political avenue, the social avenue, the religious avenue, the economic avenue, you're just not ready. It's not just one thing. See, what blows me away is how people think that our oppression is one thing. Our oppression is we oppress religiously. They use the vehicle of religion. We oppress economically. We definitely know that. We oppress systematically through the system, the design of the system that we fail to get involved and try to change.
Academically, all that.
Academically, it's so many different levels. But because I point out the political aspect, that's not the end all be all. I point out the political aspect because that's who controls your money.
Absolutely.
They control the bag.
Legislation. You got to have some legislation.
Control the bag. That's at the end of end of story. When they say follow the money, that's who cut the check. They cut the check to the police department. They cut the check to the mayors. They cut the checks to City Hall. They cut the checks to municipalities. They cut the check. They cut the check. I'm saying let's get to the point where we can at least cut one check.
Absolutely.
One little small town where we are the predominant population, we should be able to cut that check. Anything you want to add in closing, big brother?
Man, let me just try to tell you this. Let me just tell you this, people. Man, stay vigilant in these streets, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. For real. stay vigilant, man. You got to move strategically. And even when you do, you still, man, we actually in war, man, for real. I know everybody watching the news, what's happening in Minnesota. You got the National Guard out there and everything, man. Dude, it is getting very, very bad out there. So we got to have a response, man. We got to stop this type of tyranny, man. You know, and I'm watching so many different things, you know, with the lieutenant, the guy thing, you know, with White, and the Derek Chauvin thing, man. We got so many things going on against our people. You talk about the NOI, man. If they was going to do something, they'd have done something a long time ago. So,
and that's facts, brother.
And
I'm
not going to depend on that.
And I don't want to be one-sided. That goes for the Moors of these so-called Moorish Science Temple of Americas too. Don't even nobody know who they are. if it wasn't for Targa Bay, y'all would thought the Moors was back in antiquity somewhere, running out of Spain. They're gonna get mad. Moors be mad at me, man. I love you, Moors, but you gotta do better.
You gotta do better. It's everybody, man. It's everybody, man. We all should be on that code, man. We all should be on code, man. Period. No rappers and entertainers don't even want to be looking at them anyway. But everybody should be focused on this brutality, because these are the soldiers. These are the soldiers, man. These are the soldiers for this white supremacy, this caste system that got you subjugated to their laws, man. So if there's no accountability on the soldiers, the war will never end. It would end with them burying you. So we got to stop them. Period.
Indeed.
We got to stop them, man.
And I just want to say, let me let you. Anything else you want to say, brother? We be back tomorrow.
Well, yeah. Other than that, man, you know, I like to give, you know, blessings and peace, and everybody's out there. I know at times it's tough, kid. You know, people stressed out. I'm hearing it from my peoples and things, man. Like I say, you know, we gotta be watching out for each other, man, in these times, kid. It's real out here, for real. But I'll be watching you, man. Hey, salute the Moors TV world, the chat.
Bro, I can't wait to you be up and you say, man, listen, I got an hour or two. Let's do a show, and we just hit the top. Knock it out the park. I'm waiting on you, big bro.
Man. Yeah. You know I'll be busy, but I'm gonna hit you though.
I'm waiting on you, big bro. If you be like, well, Tuesday, Thursday, or whatever, brother, I got 2 hours. Let's knock it out. You pick the subject matter, and we gonna go. Y'all don't know. We got a wealth of information right here. We have a wealth of information right here. And if you listen to him, he chooses his words wisely, because because much of what he is able to give you would actually sound the alarm on those who wants to continue to keep that boot on your neck. So we just got to get the brother. We got to bring the brother here, family. Real talk. And we need 2 hours with 322 so he can really give you some. We gonna wait on it.
To answer the question, man, make sure y'all get you some two-way radios, man, because they do have scramblers to cut your cell phone. Make sure you get two-way radios or CB. That's how you communicate.
That's what I meant to say too. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say it, but I just wanted to hang out there for a minute, and it hung too long. But you got it, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, get ready.
Salute, brother. Salute. That's my guy. Peace, brother. But listen though, family. I want everybody to know. I want everybody to know that this is not an attack on any of our organizations. You know what I'm saying? This is not an attack on any of our organizations. This is a show about telling the truth so we can take action. This is not trying to knock any of these organizations, but these organizations have been around far too long and haven't yielded the results that we need. We haven't even scratched the surface as a collective, as like the Chinese people or the Asian people who were attacked. Less than a month, they was able to get some things moving. Critical things. They was able to get some laws moving. Critical things. You know why? Not because they got firepower, which they do in their home country, but they also have economic power. They have economic power. So family, if we're going to come up with an economic plan, we can't do that here. If we're going to come up with a political plan, can't do that here. If we're going to come up with a plan, then we got to do that outside of here. And the plan is not about trying to destroy anybody else. It's learning how the system operates, whether it's the political system, the economic system, the social system, the educational system, so we can grab that system and keep it moving. That's what it is. Shout out to Maymuna Free. She another one. She be banging the system upside the head. She understands. I'm sure she understands exactly what I'm talking about because she's on the front line making things change in real time. In real time. Now we just need 4,000 people in a concentrated area that understand like Sister Maymuna understand. We need this all around the country, family. It's time for us to do something for real. So with that being said, family, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night. I got two people that might see if y'all want to hear this. Hold on one second. Let me see something. Where the bro at? Let me see. I be losing, bro. See something real quick. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get him on the line. See if I can get him on the line real quick. I try to get him on the line. So he ain't answering, family. Peace and love, family. See y'all next time around. I think it's going to be tomorrow night. I might have a surprise for you. Peace and love.